In the last video, we spoke about how we have control only over our choices and never over their results. And we tried to understand all the various implications of this fact for our life. We all know this fact, but we have to truly understand it so that it transforms the way we do everything. It transforms our entire approach to life. Krishna builds upon this in the next verse, which we are going to see now. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhi asiddhi samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Established in yoga, that is Karmayoga, do actions. Giving up attachment, O Dhananjay, Arjuna. Become equal to success and failure, for it is such equal-mindedness that is meant by yoga. Krishna is saying, Yogastha kuru karmani. Yogastha means established in yoga. Karma yoga. By yoga he means karma yoga. So established or enjoined with this approach of karma yoga, perform all actions. Kuru karmani. Sangam tyaktva. Giving up attachment. Sangam means attachment. Tyaktva, giving up. So giving up attachment, do all actions. So you see, this detachment is very fundamental to the entire approach of Karma Yoga. We spoke about it earlier also. How will we give up attachment? By understanding. By understanding that the objects of the world can only give me limited fulfillment, limited freedom. And therefore, I should not search for the limitless in them. I should not search for my completeness in them. By this basic understanding, detachment comes. We have already seen this in the first step of Karma Yoga. Think about it. How does detachment for anything come? When you realize that it cannot give you what you are seeking, only then does detachment come. Only through this understanding can detachment come. It is a maturity of thought. It is, in other words, about growing up or growing out of certain childish infatuations. A child may be very attached to his video games because it pleases him. He's most happy when he's playing those games. And no matter how many times his mother tells him, play less video games, he won't listen. But when he grows older, he automatically gives up those games. He may still find them pleasing to some extent, but he no longer wishes to be playing them all the time. Because now he finds more value in other things. So he has naturally grown out of his attachment for video games by this maturity of thought. Similarly, we have to grow out of all these silly games that we are so attached to. As adults, we are also entangled in our own silly games. We have to become mature and recognize their very limited value and turn our attention towards the greater purpose of life, which is self-knowledge. Unless and until this maturity comes, detachment will not come. No matter how much anyone tells you to detach, you won't be able to. Why? Because you will still be living in the lures of these pursuits. You will still believe that they can give you what you want. So detachment is a natural outcome of an understanding that what I am looking for cannot be found in these pursuits. It just cannot. It can only be found in self-knowledge. This is how detachment comes. Okay? So, when Krishna says Sangam Tyaktva, he is essentially asking us to develop this maturity of thought. And when detachment comes, then one automatically engages in these pursuits only as far as necessary, only as far as it is one's duty. So we naturally flow from step 1 to step 2 of Karmayoga. Your choices are now made according to your dharma, your duties only. You're not making choices on the basis of your desires, what you want, what you like, but on the basis of what you should be doing. What are your duties? And when you are going by this approach, you would automatically be able to accept the results of the choices peacefully. It is not about getting something out of the result for you. It is not about fulfilling your desire through the result. Your life does not depend upon a certain result. You will no longer take the result as a mark of your personal victory or defeat. So you don't get too deeply affected by the results. This is the third step of Karma Yoga, which flows naturally from step 1 and 2. Equal-mindedness towards results, whether it be success or failure. Equal-mindedness, samatvam. So the second line comes naturally from this entire thinking process. Siddhi asiddhi samo bhutva. Siddhi asiddhi means success and failure. Samo bhutva. Become equal. Right? So this is how all the three ideas in Karma Yoga are so organically, so naturally connected with one another, and they flow so naturally from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. Now, one important idea here is that we have to see all results coming to us from Ishvara. Ishvara. As I mentioned in the previous video, the result is coming to you because of the way the laws are working. And all these laws are nothing but a manifestation of the all-intelligence Ishvara. They are working the way they are because of Ishvara. So the result has to be understood as coming from Ishvara only. When you learn to see the result in this way, as Ishvara prasada, then you would be able to accept it calmly, happily, whatever it might be. This is also called Ishvara prasad buddhi. Prasad. We've all heard of this term, prasad. It is the little sweet something we receive at a temple or after a puja, right? What does it symbolize? It has a meaning. The very word prasada literally means happiness. Happiness. You go to a temple and you pray for so many things. But why do you want those things? For your happiness. So in return of your prayers, you receive the prasada which symbolizes happiness. In life, when you make efforts to get those things, sometimes you may get them, sometimes you may not get them. Sometimes you may get more than what you desire, and sometimes you may get less. All these results are coming from Ishvara only. So if you accept it all as the prasada, if you accept it with respect, graciously, just as you accepted the prasada, with your trust in God, then you will be happy, no matter what the situation is. So in this way, your happiness is ensured if you see all results as Ishvara prasad. So the third step is also called Ishvara prasad buddhi. It is about gracious acceptance of all results, all life situations as prasada from Ishvara. Now, relating with Ishvara is a very crucial aspect of Karmayoga. It is, we can say, integral to all the steps of Karmayoga. In the first step, when we are talking about making self-knowledge the aim of life, then it is about knowing how I am one with the universe as well as the cause of universe Ishvara. In the second step, when we are saying make choices according to dharma, then it is about bringing in oneness with not only the world around, but also with Ishvara. Dharma is the law according to which Ishvara intends the world to be ordered. So by abiding by dharma, we bring in Ishvara in our life. And then in the third step, when you accept the results graciously with equal-mindedness as prasada, there again you relate with Ishvara. So there is no karma yoga without relating to Ishvara. At every step of Karmayoga, we are relating with Ishvara. We are appreciating the relation of this individual with Ishvara. This is very, very important to understand. Just living an ethical life is not Karmayoga. Please understand this very clearly. Karmayoga is a very specific way of life with a specific aim, with a specific attitude, and relating with Ishvara is integral to this attitude. Okay. Remember, Karma Yoga is about growing out of our limited sense of self and imbibing oneness with not only the world around us but also the cause of the world, Ishvara, because ultimately we want to know how the individual, the universe, and the cause of universe are one and the same. So all through Karma Yoga, we have to relate with not only the world around us but also Ishvara. It is appreciating this oneness with it all. So it is very, very important. And so you will see that the attitude of bhakti or devotion to Ishvara is very much there in Karma Yoga itself. Because without relating to Ishvara, without devotion to Ishvara, there is no Karma Yoga. They say that Bhakti Marga is a separate marga, separate path, leading directly to moksha. If it is a separate path, then tell me, what does a Bhakti Margi does? Does he not aim for moksha? Does he not perform his duties? Does he not accept all results as Ishvara prasada? If he does, then how is it a separate path? They would say that a Bhakti Margi does puja, archana, bhajan, kirtan, etc. Well, even a Karma Yogi does that. Sagun Upasana, that is, worshipping Ishvara in a personal form, is to be done even by a Karma Yogi. In fact, a Karma Yogi must contemplate upon Ishvara all the time. This would be said again and again by Krishna later on. So bhakti is very much a part of Karma Yoga itself. Krishna concludes this verse by saying, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. This samatvam, this equal-mindedness towards all situations, is like the culmination of this entire approach of Karma Yoga. And hence we can say that this equal-mindedness is the Karma Yoga. It entails all that we have seen in Karma Yoga so far and more. Okay. Now, let's do a little exercise. Close your eyes and think about your life at present. Are you all right? Is everything okay? Or do you find it hard to accept what is happening to you? Whatever you are going through right now, don't blame anybody for it. Don't blame even yourself for it entirely. Yes, your choices did play a big role in bringing you where you are, but there were several other factors also involved. So you can stop pulling yourself down by regret and remorse. It's not going to help anybody. Accept whatever has happened gracefully. The universe is unfolding as it should. And it is happening not only for you, but for everybody. You only see your limited perspective and you judge it on the basis of what you like, what you want, what you are going through. But have you ever questioned, why do you want what do you want? Have you ever given that a thought? The answer would be, because that's what will make me happy. That's what will make me feel complete. That's why I wish things were different. You see, this is the thinking that we need to change first and foremost. Sangam tyaktva. Whether you have what you desire or don't have it, it doesn't make any difference really. Because it cannot complete you. It cannot fulfill you. So just let go of all these fixations on what you want, how you want things to be, and instead think about what are your responsibilities, what are your duties. What is your duty in the present situation? Is there something that you must be doing from the perspective of your duty, your dharma? If yes, then do it. Just simply do it. Don't sit around and brood and feel sorry for yourself. Get up, uttisht, and do what needs to be done. And then let the universe take care of the rest. Let Ishvara take care of the rest. This is how you can begin on your journey of Karmayoga. All right. Moving on, Krishna says, Duren hi avaram karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya, buddhau sharanam anvichya, kripanaha falhetava. Extremely inferior is action, that is, the ordinary approach to actions, as compared to Buddhi Yoga, that is Karma Yoga. Seek refuge of such intellect. Pitiable are those who desire results of actions. So here Krishna is basically comparing the two approaches to life. First approach is the ordinary approach, which is followed by most people, wherein one tries to fulfill one's desires by pursuing various things in the world. One is attached to these pursuits because one feels that these pursuits can give the fulfillment that one is looking for. This is the ordinary approach, which most of us follow. The other approach is Karmayoga, which is called Buddhi Yoga over here. It is called Buddhi Yoga because Karma Yoga is all about a certain intellectual attitude towards actions, certain mental attitude towards actions. It is not simply working non-stop day and night. It is about an evolved thinking process. It's about certain maturity of thought, as I said. So it is called Buddhi Yoga here. And Krishna is comparing this Karma Yoga with the ordinary approach. And he is saying that the ordinary approach to actions is far, far inferior to Karma Yoga. Why? For many reasons. In the ordinary approach, you remain entangled in the circle of suffering. You are unable to find freedom from it. You keep searching for the freedom and fulfillment ignorantly in various pursuits, and they take you nowhere. Karma Yoga, on the other hand, helps you find release from this cycle. It orients your life towards self-knowledge, which is the only way to achieve the freedom that you are seeking. So it is far, far superior. In the ordinary approach, you may have everything, yet you may be unhappy, unpeaceful. In Karma Yoga, you may have just the basics, you may not have much, yet be happy and content. So Karma Yoga is far, far superior because it is a purposeful way of life which takes you towards your ultimate goal of moksha, and it gives you immense happiness and peace and contentment all the way through. So Krishna says that take refuge in this approach. Buddhau sharanam anvichya. Buddhau, this thinking, this maturity of thought, Buddhau sharanam anvichya. Take refuge. Because the ordinary way of life is pitiable. Kripanaha. Kripanaha falhetavah. It is pitiable. It is like a beggar's life, the ordinary life. If you're running after all these things, after wealth, after power, after success, after fame, name, after a certain lifestyle, all these things, if you're running after these things like a beggar, then how good can your life be? You may be a billionaire. You may be, the top businessman of the world. But you're like a beggar. Why? Because your happiness depends upon what you have. The moment it is taken away, you are nothing. You feel nothing about yourself. So you are holding on to it, clutching it with all your life, like a beggar. Kripanaha falhetava. This is the condition of those who hanker after results, who hanker after these things. Kripanaha. Kripanaha also means a miser. 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 Who is a miser? A miser is one who does not use the money that he has, who does not use the resources that he has. Okay? So, as a human being, we have been endowed with an intellect, a very evolved intellect which can understand all these subtle ideas. If we don't use this intellect properly, then we are that miser. If we continue to live in our illusion that, oh, this will give me what I want, this will give me what I want, and we keep running blindly after these things without ever pausing and examining life, and we are misers of thought, we are misers of our intellect. Okay. So, buddhau sharanam anvichya kripanaha falhetavaha duren hi avaram karma buddhi yogad dhananjaya. Moving on, Krishna says, buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrit dushkrite tasmad yogaya yunjasva yogah karmasu kaushalam. Enjoined with this intellect, with this intellectual approach of Karmayoga, one overcomes both punya and papa, sukrita, dushkrita. Tasmad yogaya yunjasva yogah karmasu kaushalam. Therefore be enjoined with Karma Yoga. It is the most efficient utilization of actions. So Krishna continues the same ideas, and he says that by this approach of Karma Yoga, you shall overcome the effects of all karma phalas, both punya and papa, sukrita, dushkrita. Sukrita means the result of your good action or action according to dharma, which is punya. Dushkrita is the opposite, papa. So when you overcome both punya and papa, you overcome the whole cycle of birth and death, which is a product of punya and papa. This approach is not about increasing punya, maximizing punya, or decreasing papa to get heaven or a better next life. A lot of people live a life of maximizing punya and minimizing papa. This approach of Karma Yoga is about going beyond both of them. It is about going beyond all these limited results. Okay? So, buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrita. Actions are performed according to dharma, yes, but not for punya. Punya comes because it will naturally come if you perform actions according to dharma. But we perform actions according to dharma only for antahkaran shuddhi, not for the punya. So Krishna is saying, be enjoined with this approach because it is the most efficient utilization of your actions. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. This is a very interesting line, and it is a famous line, but it is often misinterpreted. Let's understand what it means. Shankara explains this very clearly in his commentary. He says that actions are naturally such that they bind the doer in the circle of birth and death. This is the nature of actions. That when you perform any action, there will be a result which you have to bear later, so you are bound in the circle of birth and death. But when you approach actions through Karmayoga, then the same actions become a medium of your release from that circle of birth and death. So what you're doing is that you are making actions, you are using actions most efficiently. You're utilizing actions for the ultimate purpose of human life. And this is the kaushala, the efficiency or the accomplishment of the actions in Karma Yoga. Okay, this is what it means. You will find hundreds of strange interpretations of this phrase out there. Some people translate it as yoga is perfection in action. Some people interpret it as actions in Karma Yoga always lead to success. All these interpretations fail to understand the true intent over here. See the context. See what is being said in the first line of the verse. It is about overcoming Sukrita Dushkrita. See what is being said in the previous verses. And in the following verses, the entire context is about overcoming the circle of birth and death. And actions can help in such release only when approached through Karma Yoga, and this is the best utilization of actions. This is the kaushala of karma. This is the meaning over here. Okay? Right. So we will continue with the next set of verses in the next video.